Every single person who has ever done anything worthwhile or exceptional or difficult or extraordinary, there is no easy road. It does not exist. It is impossible. Everyone encounters difficulty. Everyone has issues.
You're not dead yet. As long as you're breathing, as long as that heart is pumping blood, they haven't put rose petals on your box yet. Make sure every breath you take counts for something. It's time to understand that if you want to get something out of your life, you got to be willing to work for it. How much are you really willing to give?
Look at your life right now. If you want to keep on getting what you're getting, keep on doing what you're doing. As you look back on your life, you can decide that I don't like what I produced here, and I want higher ground. If you change your ways, I'll give you far more than you ever lost. You've got to be willing to change your ways. Your life is working. If you don't like what you have produced, you're a director, you are the star, you wrote this script. I want to begin to experience more love. I want to have more adventure in my life. I want something that gives my life a sense of meaning. You produce this, whatever it is. If it's a hit, you produced it. If it's a flop, you produced it. Take ownership of it and decide to go back to the drawing board and rewrite the script that you are the star of. You have the power to do that. On this day, you can declare.
You may have been through a lot in your life. You may have been through hell in your life. Life has been given to you from a higher power, but hell doesn't own you. Hell did not create you. Something that you need to understand, that no matter who you are in this world that we live in today, everyone must suffer. Everyone must struggle. But everybody that is going through something always has a story to tell. Most people that are successful right now had to go through something to get what they got to this day. Some people are not even willing to hurt and to feel that so that they get what it is that they want. But let's go beyond that. What about the people out there who can't talk? What about the people out there that are suffering from diseases that cannot be cured from? What about the other people out here who can't walk? What about you? What about you? What are you gonna do about the life you have? How far are you gonna go? How are you gonna live?
If you have time to do anything in your life, you can better yourself. If you have time to pursue a hobby, here's one way you never better yourself. When you come up with excuses for why other people are successful and you're not. That's dangerous.
Do you feel sorry for yourself because you lost your job? Do you feel sorry for yourself because you're having a bad day? Do you feel sorry for yourself because you just feel like you're just not having the day that you want to have because the day that you have is not the way you want it to go?
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been selected to head up a program called Project Life in Chicago, training thousands of kids. And I had the experience and to see the young people and the parents and the community volunteers when they went out, and to see these young people when they came in. One young man from the Cabrini Green housing projects who didn't want to be there, who came up and said, "I'll never be the same again." He said, "Thank you, Mr. Brown." He said, "I just got to go now, but thank you, sir. I'll never be the same again."
Or do you feel that you deserve a pat on your back because you did a good thing? We all got a responsibility. We all got to be accountable. We all got to put in work, but don't give up.
Sometimes you just got to get up and get it done. There's sometimes where you have to pull yourself up and you have to push forward even if you want to stay in bed.
To see a letter I got from a young man who was in the Cook County Jail where I work on Monday morning. And this young man will not be out of jail for at least 50 years. At least 50 years. They gave him 100 years. This guy has shot at least 60 people that we know of and killed 10 at least. Over 70% of these young men are in there for murder. And this letter he wrote, he said, since listening to your tapes, he said, I have not changed, but I feel a different person in me. We wanted to have a two-pronged attack where we would train people on the outside and train those that are in the jails, because I believe if you cage them like animals and treat them like animals and they're out on the streets every 22 months, they're going to get out and act like animals and go back in like animals. So we said, let's take an approach. This gives me my life. This might be insane. But I felt so good. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, if we can accept the possibility of that this is the decade of consciousness. That's what I believe that this is. A time where we can begin to create in folks' minds the idea, the possibility that we can create the kind of respect for diversity and difference in our multicultural society. The possibility that we can create more love, communication, and understanding in relationships. The possibility that we can create a more humane society. The possibility that we can begin to develop the mindset to bring out the best in people, to encourage them to achieve their greatness and support them in their dreams. That if we can, in this decade of consciousness, to begin to see and envision that happening, that we were born for such a time as this, and that we all can play a role. That we showed up for this, that we survived 1 out of 9 million sperms, and we have been chosen for this great work. What an exciting time to be alive.
Yet some of you have failed and you have decided, well, guess what? I'm a failure. No, failure is an event. It is never a person. Just because you failed doesn't mean that you're a failure. In fact, failure is actually fuel for your future. The way that you grow, the way that you advance, you have to fail in order to succeed.
If your life was a movie and it started now, forget about whatever financial disasters you've had, personal failures, relationship failures. What would the hero of your life's movie do right now? Do that. Do those things.
There's somebody out there right now that is struggling. Because there's somebody out there right now that is hurting. There's somebody out there right now that's got it a little bit tougher than you do. So why are you going to give up now? Anything that comes your way, you got to be prepared to accept the challenge and go through it. Don't lay on your back. If something's on your chest, get it off.
One of the worst decisions a man can make is to be comfortable.
Time has already made up its mind, because time doesn't owe you anything. Time is not thinking about you. What you gonna do? Who said it's supposed to be easy? It takes grit. It takes tenacity. It takes sacrifice. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. This is not a pity party. But you got the right to celebrate the life. Because no matter if it's good or if it's bad, nothing is greater than living. Because if you're living, there's a possibility to change something. But not just change it, evolve it. Evolve it to something greater. Being able to take something that may not be nothing to others, but may mean something to you. There are so many people in this world that don't believe in you. But while you're sitting around worrying about people believing in you, Why don't you focus on believing in yourself?
We all go through hard times. We all go through depression. We all go through doubt and moments in your life where it's really difficult and you're trying to figure out what your path is going to be. And those difficult moments are what build your character.
This too shall pass. You're going to get through this thing.
Are you prepared to struggle? Are you prepared to hurt? Because if you're not that person, then lay back down. Stay where you are. Don't move forward. Move backwards. But if you are the person that you say you are, we don't have time to wait.